Dave, it's a bit bittersweet. You've had a romping good win after a difficult World Cup. Didn't get 100.
Yeah, look, it was a good win. Obviously, they rested a few players, but at the end of the day, we had to go out there and chase a pretty good total from where they were. Obviously, David batted extremely well. Just kept backing himself, and I think he's a very fine one-day player. And he had a brilliant innings today, and it was good just to cruise across the line there tonight.
Is it a double-edged sword that you looked in good nick in the World Cup, couldn't get away, and then the game after the World Cup you come out and basically set up a win?
Yeah, look, for me, I know I'm seeing the ball well. I'm in great positions, and it was just one of those things after that first game that how I got dismissed. I said to myself, actually, it's going to be one of those tournaments, and I don't know why, but it's just that's the game of cricket. It can fall that way. It can go either way. You get some luck or you don't get some luck. But at the end of the day, we did our best, and obviously got this series another 2 games to go.
It's a small sample size, but you and Trav had a pretty remarkable ODI opening record. Is there anything particular about the styles of batting or the communication or anything that works with you two?
I think we both play quite similar. We take the game on. You see with Trav and myself, if it's full, we'll still play through the line. We like to go aerial. That's the way that we play. And anything short, we try and punch, pull, or go with it. So that's our style of play. It's coming off at the moment, which is great. Hopefully we can keep continuing that success. It's great.
Is there a sense that if one of you is kind of going, the other one might have to reel it back in, or do you think you can both keep at it?
Yeah, you don't really see too often that 2 batters go at the same time. But I think when it's in your areas, you still got to back yourself and keep going with it. And I think, moving forward, we try to keep it ultra positive in that first 10 overs with the field as it is. Obviously, with swing conditions, it might be a little bit different. We just have to play, what's in front of us.
So this series is actually the warm-up. I know you've played a lot of cricket during the last couple of months, but this series is actually the lead-up to the Test series. Does an innings like that help you sort of going into a Test series, or is there too much difference between one-day and Test cricket?
No, it's all quite similar. I've mentioned it plenty of times, going from 2020 to the Test and then coming back as well. You're playing so much cricket anyway, so you know how to rein it in. You know when to accelerate in Test matches as well. So for me, it's just watching that ball out of the hand. Best training is in the middle, so if you can spend time in the middle, I don't have to waste them in the nets.
David, the focus would be on next year's World Cup. Pat's spoken about it as well. So is there an approach as a team approach that you need to start working on now so that you're ready when the World Cup comes along?
I think we've had some success in India playing in those conditions. So a lot of us have played IPL over there as well. So the grounds are smaller, the ball races to the boundary. It can swing at night time, especially. So it's not about a game plan per se. It's just more when you get there, you're gonna have to adapt to the conditions. Obviously depends which venue you play at. There's a lot of things that have to play out before then, especially the draw and all that kind of stuff. But for us, it's about winning every game, leading into that, getting momentum, making sure obviously they got the right team that they want to go with as well. So if the teams that are getting selected are as they are at the moment, it's probably ideally going to be the squad moving forward, pending obviously injuries and anything like that. So yeah.
And you said recently about there's a lot of white ball cricket left in you. So what about 50-over cricket keeps you going as compared to say 20-over cricket?
Look, at the end of the day, I've always been a person who the goals are winning World Cups. So they've got a World Cup next year, then the next one's in 4 years' time. So I'll be 41. I don't know if I've got that long left in me, but it'll be time for the next generation of players. Hedy's obviously one of those players who will make that next World Cup. It's about giving those people opportunities to actually cement their team in the spot in the team and have that goal and aspirations to play in that World Cup. So look, who knows, I might have a second win, but that's my goal at the moment, is to get to that World Cup, play as well as I can, and we'll see from there.
Just a word on batting with Steve out in the middle there. Obviously he's made a few tweaks to the technique, and he looked pretty up and about in his couple of mid-pitch conversations. conversation? Does it seem like you're in a different place? Or?
Steve. It could be anything. He could say he's lost his hand. He could say he's found his hands. There was they put up an analysis of his 2020 stance and his one-day stance, which is obviously always completely different. So I don't know what they were talking up in the commentary box, but it's no different to what he normally does. He goes back and across, but then when he's in, he actually does a smaller step. So yeah, if you watch him closely, that's Steve. That's how he does it. He's worked obviously hard in the nets. Obviously didn't get many games during the World Cup, so for him, he's just been able to work it on the nets and get some time in the middle is great for Steve and great for us as a team.
Did you actually say I'm back, maybe, to you?
Oh, he might have said it once or twice, but cricket's a funny game, so you've got to be very, very careful.
Hi David, just a word on that save from Ashton on the kind of boundary rope. Have you seen? Obviously, we've seen a few of those recently, but that was pretty special.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, as he said to me, he goes, it got nicely in his hand, and he was able to flick it back. And it's one of those things in those moments when you actually do stop that, you sometimes forget to actually throw the ball back because you're so caught up in actually stopping it. But cricket players these days who field on the boundaries are good athletes. They jump, they save, they practice it at training, so it's not fluke. But they're acts of brilliance, and to have that quick thinking in that split second is obviously phenomenal.
Is that one of the biggest kind of shifts you noticed in your career, just the athleticism in the fielding?
Yeah, I think I pride myself on my fitness to be short, sharp over 20, 30 metres. So for me, I run after every ball with 100% commitment. It's just what I've always done. I've always loved fielding, even though I don't train too much. These hands are on their last legs. I don't want to bust one at training, but we do a lot of high ball stuff over our heads, and we practice that stuff. So I pride myself on. I love it in the middle there.
And just to check, so your plan in Test cricket now is to kind of go to the Ashes and retire after that?
I don't know. Have to wait and see. Still got India 4 tests. Then obviously the Ashes. Hopefully, if we win every game here, we play that Test Championship final. So there's a lot to pan out there as well. Get to there first.